Aloha everyone, this is Leimomi Keliikuli, Intuitive Soul Alignment Coach here, and I want to make a live stream to talk about a subject that I know a lot of people probably out there have been experiencing because they themselves have gone into a place of misalignment and they may not even know exactly why or how to get out of it. So I want to talk about this topic because I think especially in this online world we have been taught to basically like copy or to do what other people are doing, but my message to the world is actually the opposite of that. So, and this is because of seeing so many people become misaligned by their coaches, by other people who have disempowered them somehow, or have created some kind of prison themselves, and they don't even understand what's going on until it's kind of too late. So let me introduce myself. I am an intuitive soul alignment coach, and I basically help people to align to their soul alignment blueprints, which is actually the key to success, and using it from your Akashic records. And I clear any of the energetic noise that may be in the background that's sabotaging you from creating the success, the wealth and abundance that you know that you deserve. So basically what I do is I help people to find the specific path, the way that their soul is meant to, and the way that is most fastest, most abundant, in epic time. So one of the actual symptoms or problems that I keep seeing my audience and many people go through this is actually what I call misalignment. So misalignment is actually like when you actually go off of your path of the way that your soul is designed. And so you may have taken a shortcut where you learn some kind of strategy or marketing or systems or methods or stuff like that that actually has pushed you away from what is most abundant for you. So basically when you are misalignment, you create a lot of chaos in your money, in your relationships, and basically you become disempowered, and you're not able to really take responsibility for anything in your life and your business. And that's what's happening when you start copying someone else's strategy. This actually creates an effect of being in an imprisonment of a structure that you think that or your business coach or whoever you're talking with has kind of caged you in a particular way, and that is actually what is stopping you from going towards your specific path the way that your soul was designed. So I have been working with hundreds of clients, and one thing that I have noticed is as to why they actually came to me was because they themselves had experienced some form of what I call misalignment. And this misalignment usually starts with them copying some other form or method or marketing or messaging or business strategy that they're told that was supposed to work for them, that will create success in a rapid speed, but it never actually happens that way. And the true reason is because every single soul is unique. Every single soul has a unique blueprint. And actually the truth is I've been reading thousands and thousands of people's blueprints, and I've been making it for them, and every single blueprint is different. Maybe they might have very similar gifts or similar types of what their energy is all about, but even when I talk to them, they all have a very different way of doing things because we have different desires, we have different personalities, everything is different. And so one of the things that we don't understand is that we have a very specific superpower, specific energy of the way our soul is designed to show up in the world. So when we show up as a different kind of energy, we create more miscommunication, more strategies that really isn't aligned for you or the other people. So what happens actually when you copy somebody else's strategy, you're actually copying their soul. And so in a sense, if you think about it in a logical sense, everybody knows this, that you are copying a part of a part of them rather than what is you at soul level. So what happens is everybody can understand the way that you are authentically supposed to be. And so, of course, when you experience this type of misalignment, you're following someone else's strategy, and it's not aligned to the way that you're meant to do at soul level, you lose money, you lose energy, you lose your health, you lose, like all of it all happens. But it takes a period of time, usually about like four to 5 months. You start to notice that the things that you used to be on fire, used to think about, like just doesn't feel good anymore. And actually, the reason why you're not feeling motivated, you're not feeling like you want to, talk to your audience, or you don't know even what to say, or you feel like parts of yourself is not being able to be expressed, right? And the key reason is because you're creating strategies and methods that's just not aligned to you. So for example, some souls are meant to be online, some souls are meant to be offline. These are two completely different business models and different methods of marketing that if you've ever been online or offline, and I have been in both worlds and been successful in both, it's so different. You have to pretty much create a whole new nest, a whole new way that you want to show up. And so when you are doing something that's really, really not aligned to you, and you're using these specific strategies that you've been told by your coach, or you've been told that will create success for you, it actually never really works. Okay. So even people are saying yeah, I made 40K in a day, and I did this and this strategy is going to work for you. We didn't use a sales page. We didn't use an opt-in. We didn't use, branding or make a website and all these kind of things. The reason that they're actually saying is because something that they did actually allowed them to operate from the way that they want and desire, but also at a soul level, there's something that they did that activated their superpower, their unique energy of their soul, and then they got the result, which became some money value. And this is what people don't understand, is money is an exchange. It's an energy of an exchange of what you create as you are helping others, right? And if you are getting an equal exchange, you will both feel fulfilled. But when you are copying somebody else's strategy, you end up creating more and more miscommunication, and then your client or your prospective clients, they don't want to pay you, they don't want to get what they actually need, because they feel like they have to work harder because you're showing them that you have to work harder. So you yourself work harder. Okay, so everything I'm saying of course makes sense, right? And I know if you have been going through this, you have somebody in your life, whether it's a coach, whether it's your partner, whether it's your children, there is somebody that you're copying, and the reason you're copying is because there's some form of gift envy. So what is gift envy? Gift envy is where you think that their gift is so cool, so awesome, that you need to create a life that's kind of like them. So you're kind of modeling what you think you need to do rather than what you actually are at soul level. Okay. So the gift envy is this this anxiousness, this kind of frustration, this anger inside that you kind of feel like you have to do something that you feel like it's actually not aligned to you, but you actually do it anyway. And then you find out that you end up in a situation where it's actually not good for you, where no money coming in, there's crickets, right? There you have all these symptoms of feeling very, very small. So if you're feeling like this, where you kind of feel disempowered in some way, and you don't know how to speak to your audience, and you're getting stuck. Why you're getting stuck is because the strategies behind what you are doing is probably not aligned to you. Okay, and it's simple strategies. Like I said, you're doing an online business rather than an offline business. You are, you're operating from this energy of love, but actually your energy is power, right? Two different kinds of energies. So when you look at what you are doing, and this is why what you're doing every day is so important to be very aware of. you have to actually, this is the steps, okay, to get back into alignment. The 3 steps to get back into alignment is you need to, 1, stop what you're doing. This is the hardest part because you're usually not aware of what you did. You're usually not aware of like what got you out of misalignment. And so you actually have to do a lot of meditation and some, journaling and some mindset work to kind of figure out what it is that's not working. You may even know what it is, but you're resisting to, to keep doing it, because you keep doing it. You think it's going to work, it's going to work, it's going to work, but it doesn't, right? So you have to look at your symptoms. What are you experiencing that's pulling you away from the way that you want to do things? And I've seen doctors who became a doctor because their father wanted them to be a doctor, and then they find out they actually don't even like talking about the body. They want to talk about esoteric things and psychic things and stuff, right? This is what I mean. It could be an extreme, or it could be, a simple thing as you're following the way that your mother or father has taught you how to create money or to create success for yourself, right? So you have to figure out what you need to stop doing. This is the first step, and it's the hardest step because you usually are not aware of what you did. But you know that you did it wrong. Somehow you did it wrong, and you don't know what misalignment is. So you have to do a lot of inner work to figure out what you did that wasn't aligned to you. And so you have to actually stop doing it. And sometimes it involves a person. So that's the second step. You have to eliminate the one thing that has blocked you in some fashion. So when I'm saying blocked, meaning you have, done some action because someone else told you to do it, or, you have done some action because you thought that was really going to create success for you, right? So that's the next step, is you have to eliminate that specific thing. So if it's a person, for example, as your business coach, you actually have to tell them no, cut the contract, or because they themselves keep feeding you stuff that's not aligned for you, you're going to have to cut it out, right? If it's your family member, you might even need to get a divorce. You may even have to, separate for a bit so that you could be more in yourself, okay? And that's the third step, is to spend more time to reflect and to be in your own space long enough so that you can figure out what you actually want to do. Because once you stop, that's just the first step, right? You're like, I don't know what I did, something is wrong. You have to find out why that happened. Then you have to figure out, right, what you need to eliminate. It could be eliminating people. It could be eliminating your, house that you live in, the environment you live in. It could be your job. It could be anything, really. And you have to be willing to be open that that one thing is just not good for you. And that's so scary because you paid $10,000 to this business coach, right? You invested years and years in this relationship with somebody, right? It can be, something it's usually something you're resisting, right? And then, like I said, the third thing is you're going to have space for yourself. So this is where you're going to have to do some self-love. You're going to have to create an environment where you don't hear the noise, where you're not listening to anybody else's opinions for a bit, so that you can collect yourself long enough so that you know what you want and you know how you're going to get there. Because usually the methods or the strategies that work for you, it's something you're resisting inside in the first place, right? So let's say your business coach said, go and do some retreats. And you're like, yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. Everybody's doing spiritual retreats or business retreats. I should be able to make money off of that. And then you go and you try that. And by the way, this is also a very soul level thing too. If you do something that's a retreat, there's only certain souls that really, really thrive on that. You could even be creating a whole event that costs thousands of dollars before you really get the return on investment. And then you create the retreat and you're like, oh my God, like I built a mess for myself. This is not working. I don't know how I'm going to like say no to all these people and blah, 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 right? Whatever it is. So if that's the case, you're going to actually have to cancel the retreat. You have to return money. You're going to have to right? It's like, can be feel like a disaster. But if it is something that's like not really aligned to you, you have to respect the fact that, okay, you did it wrong, that, and this is with part of what I call repentance. I'm not saying like repenting to some other outside circumstance. I'm saying like you have to forgive yourself. And forgiving yourself takes time to be in your own energy. And the only way you're going to know what's right is you have to choose something that's aligned to you again. You're going to have to trust yourself again. So that last third step process to get back into alignment, you're going to need your soul's blueprints. So what is your soul's blueprints? I've actually created a roadmap to success that will allow you to use this in everything in your life, in your business. This is like your business energy, your superpower, your life challenges, your business marketing archetype, all the very specific things that your soul is. And so when you find your unique blueprint, then you need to take that and you need to apply it in your life, in your business. Now that process requires you to get rid of this forgiveness, right? You have to forgive yourself that I did wrong, that I followed something that wasn't aligned to me. And then you have to take actions towards something that is, and then you have to build self-trust again. So really, like, the longest process to get back into alignment is the self-trust. When you're in that self-trust, actually you need a lot of support and a lot of people who's going through the same thing to really go through that process, because look, revamping what you did, it takes a lot of guts, right? Like I said, you created that retreat that really, really wasn't good for you, and so now you got to give people money back, or you got to cancel all of this stuff, or you even lost thousands of dollars in effect of it, right? Same thing with a coach. You spend thousands of dollars on a coach, and this coach like totally threw you into a whirlwind, and you're in chaos, and you ran out of money and all of these kind of things. You have to choose to stop doing what you're doing, so that you can start to see what you need to eliminate, so that you can start to be in your own self and to give back the love and devotion to your work, right? Build up this self-trust again, and then get out there and do it all over again, right? This is what life is about. We're meant to get misaligned and to get into alignment, misaligned into alignment again. But the only way to stay on the right track is you need your soul's blueprints. You need your soul alignment blueprints. It's the unique energy of what you are made of. And so when you start taking action towards it, it gets faster and faster and faster, right? You get towards your goals. You see all the things that you need to do. They're coming faster to you. Then that's how you're going to start to attract the right things, the right places, the right people that gets you on that correct path. So I hope that helped you guys. I hope it gave you some idea of why copying is really, really a bad thing. It actually has to do with gift envy, with you trying to duplicate somebody else's gifts, and that never ever works. It has to do with you feeling that not worthy inside in some form. So you have to work out some of the mindsets as to why you copied that person or that thing or that place or the circumstances because you thought that's what you wanted. Right? You're seeing the contrast. So once you can really, really figure out why you need to eliminate this one thing, or it could be several people, could be several things, right? You have to take the time and the effort to be in your own space so that you can make different choices that's for you, that's to liberate you, to give you more time freedom, to give you more the things that you want in your life, right? And the opportunities that's supposed to be there, but you're so afraid of taking it, right? Sometimes it's just something you're totally resisting. And usually that is the thing that you need to do, right? So I hope I gave you a little insight as to where you might be stuck and what are the 3 steps for you to get towards your alignment again. The last part of the forgiveness part is so crucial. because you can create the same scenario with somebody else, with some other coach, with some other thing. And if you don't do that process of forgiveness, or what I say, the repentance behind it, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It's a part of like life, right? We make mistakes, that you're not perfect, and you have to show your vulnerability and, you know, share your experience about it. It's actually a good thing when you share it, because there's probably somebody else that's going through that same experience, right? So don't forget, because when you are in that space, it's hard for you to make that new choice. And that new choice takes effort. It takes work. Okay, it takes a revamping. It could be something simple, or it could be something really complicated that needs to be worked out. And you have to have that courage to forgive yourself and to choose what's right for your soul. So if you want to know more information about, you know, how you could get back into alignment, how to get out of this prison that you've created, you're going to actually need to work on solving some of the problems. And I actually have all the solutions to help you to get there, which is my 8-week Mastering Your Soul's Gift program. This is where I can help you on that journey to get back into alignment, to figure out what it is that you need to revamp. And when you have that support of other people who's also going through that process, it actually, you know, catapults you faster, so you can fly into the direction that you want to. And so if you want to have more support, you can, of course, you know, reach out to me. I can actually help you by starting with your soul alignment blueprints, to give you the roadmap of success, the direction that your soul needs to create for your soul purpose and your path. You know, join my Facebook group, which is Soul Alignment for Conscious Living, and this is where you can actually meet other people who really, really believes in soul alignment. And you also could take my quiz, which is going to help you to figure out what your superpower is and what your business type is, and give you some idea of what you need to do in order to revamp. You can go to my website at www.LeimomiKeliikuli.com. And on there, there's all my programs and all my services, so you can read all about that, and, you know, see where I could help you. All right, I hope you have a beautiful day. Aloha.